much more to come, as well looking ahead.
Neil.
Hi, Mr. Chairman. Neil Irwin with Axios. This morning we got a GDP report in which final domestic private purchases decelerated, slowest pace since 22. There was a weakness in the interest-sensitive sectors and residential investment, commercial structures. Are those not signs that monetary policy is a little too restrictive right now, given current economic conditions?
So the GDP and PDFP numbers came in pretty much right where we expected them to come in. You got to look at the whole picture. So certainly, as I mentioned in my opening remarks, economic activity data, GDP, private domestic final purchases, which we think is a narrower but better signal for future, for where the economy is going, has come down to a little better than 1%, 1.2%, I think, in the case of GDP for the first half, whereas it was 2.5% last year. So that has certainly come down. But if you look at the labor market, what you see is, by many, many statistics, the labor market is kind of still in balance. It's things like quits, job openings, and let alone the unemployment rate. They're all by many measures, very similar to where they were a year ago. So you do not see weakening in the labor market. You do see a slowing in job creation, but also a slowing in the supply of workers. So you've got a labor market that's in balance, albeit partially because both demand and supply for workers is coming down at the same pace, and that's why the unemployment rate has remained roughly stable, which is why I said we do see downside risk in the labor market. I mean, our two mandate variables, right, are inflation and maximum employment, stable prices and maximum employment, not so much growth. So the labor market looks solid. Inflation is above target, and even if you look through the tariff effects, we think it's still a bit above target, and that's why our stance is where it is. But as I mentioned, downside risks to the labor market are certainly apparent.
So on labor, given the fluid labor supply situation, is there a number for this jobs report we get on Friday that would look to you like equilibrium job growth?
The main number you have to look at now is the unemployment rate, because it's true that the demand for workers in the form of, let's call it, just say payroll jobs, that number has come down, but so has the break-even number, kind of in tandem. So, as long as that puts the labor market in balance, the fact that it's getting into balance due to declines in both supply and demand, though, I think it is suggestive of downside risk. So we of course, will be watching that carefully.
Thank you. Colby Smith with the New York Times. Two of your colleagues called for a quarter-point cut today, and I'm wondering what aspects of their argument were most compelling to you and how you're weighing their views against those on the committee who, as of the June forecast, were in the camp of the Fed holding interest rates steady for the remainder of the year. And just in terms of the June SEP in particular, is that still the best representation of where the core of the committee is?
So on the dissents, what you want from everybody, and also from a dissenter, is a clear explanation of what your thinking is and what are the arguments you're making, and we had that today. So I think basically this was quite a good meeting all around the table, where people were thought carefully about this and put their positions out there. As I mentioned, the sort of the majority of the committee was of the view that inflation's a bit above target, maximum employment is at target. That calls for modestly restrictive, in my way of thinking, modestly restrictive stance of policy for now. Expression of your thinking, and we certainly had that today, I think all around the table. In terms of, you asked about the June SEP, I wouldn't, that you're right, that's what it says, and that may well, I couldn't point to it 6 weeks later as expressing people's thought. You really can't do that. We don't run an SEP, and I don't like to substitute in my own estimate of what the SEP might be. We don't have one. So I'll just say that, we haven't made any decisions about September. We'll be monitoring all the incoming data and asking ourselves whether the federal funds rate is in the right place.
And just on the point about policy being only modestly restrictive, does that mean that there's actually not much scope to reduce rates once the conditions for a cut are met, barring a significant weakening of the labor market?
So let me say, my own estimate is modestly restrictive, and there are a range of views of what the neutral rate is at this moment for our economy, and so others may say it's more restrictive or less restrictive even. We're going to be, at some point, when we return to moving toward a more neutral stance, we'll be making that judgment as we go. I don't think we have a preset course. It's not so mechanical as saying, we've derived with great confidence the neutral rate and that is our destination, because really we understand that no one actually knows what the neutral rate is. We know it by its works, and that will be how the way the economy reacts over time to, slightly looser policy.
Nick Timmeros, The Wall Street Journal. Chair Powell, my question is about what have you learned over the last few months about the inflation generating and price pass-through process? And just to drill down, the June CPI report showed evidence of tariff-induced goods inflation. Now, the tariff landscape is only starting to be settled with some of these more recent deals. Given the lags between when tariffs are announced and when they show up in goods prices, is 2 months a long enough horizon to evaluate the impact and be confident that tariffs aren't impacting the broader inflation process?
I think you have to think of this as still quite early days. And so I think what we're seeing now is substantial amounts of tariff revenue being collected on the order of $30 billion a month, which is, substantially higher than before. And the evidence seems to be mostly not paid only to a small extent through exporters lowering their price, and companies or retailers, sort of people who are upstream, institutions that are upstream from the consumer, are paying most of this for now. It's starting to show up in consumer prices, as you know, in the June report. We expect to see more of that. And we know from surveys that companies feel that they have every intention of putting this through to the consumer, but the truth is they may not be able to in many cases. So I think we're just going to have to watch and learn empirically how much of this and over what period of time. I think we've learned that the process will probably be slower than expected at the beginning, but we never expected it to be fast. We think we have a long way to go to really understand exactly how it will be. So that's how we're thinking of it right now.
So if I could follow up, is the reticence to look through core goods inflation being driven by the judgment that during the pandemic expectations proved more adaptive than anyone at the Fed expected? Is it being driven by uncertainty over how restrictive policy is?
You could argue we are a bit looking through goods inflation by not raising rates. We haven't reacted to new inflation, but I mean, I wouldn't insist upon that. But I don't think, I think the base case, as I said, a reasonable base case is that these are one-time price effects. Of course, in the end, there will not be. This will not turn out to be inflation, because we'll make sure that it's not. We will, through our tools, make sure that this does not move from being a one-time price increase to serious inflation. We want to do that efficiently, though, and that means we want to do it. If you move too soon, you wind up maybe not getting inflation all the way fixed, and you have to come back. That's inefficient. If you move too late, you might do unnecessary damage to the labor market. So there won't be, in the end, a big inflationary problem. What we're trying to do is accomplish that in a way that is efficient. But in the end, there should be no doubt that we will do what we need to do to keep inflation under control. Ideally, we do it efficiently.
He is the reason, bro. He is purposely doing this, chat. He is purposely. You can see it all over his face,
Bloomberg
bro.
Television and radio. The one big bill, leaving aside the adjectives, do you expect it to add stimulus to the economy in 2026? And would that be an argument for remaining on hold or cutting back on the number of rate cuts you would expect for next year?
So, of course, let me just ritual disclaimer that we don't express any judgments or anything like that on fiscal legislation or other legislation for that matter.
You got to go, bro.
I would say when you think that, the biggest part of the bill was making permanent existing law on taxes, I don't think we see it as particularly stimulative. There should be some stimulative effect, but it shouldn't be significant over the next couple of years.
And to follow up, I don't want to put this in terms of you and the president, so let me ask it this way. Do you have concerns about the cost to the government of keeping rates elevated for
Bro,
longer
he not gonna
terms
help us,
of
bro.
interest rate charges?
He's not going to
That's-
help
You know,
us.
we have a mandate, and that's maximum
you gotta
employment
go,
and price
bro.
stability. And it is, it's not something we do to consider the cost to the government of our rate changes. We have to be able to look at the goal variables Congress has given us, use the tools they've given us to achieve
Trump.
those goals. And
Get
that's
him
what
up
we
out of
do.
here, man.
We don't consider the fiscal needs of the federal government. No advanced economy.
Bro
central
already
bank
said
does
he was
that.
inspired by
And
Paul
it wouldn't be
Volcker.
good for, if we did do that, it would be good neither for our credibility nor for the credibility of U.S. fiscal policy. So it's
This
just
dude.
not something we take into consideration.
This dude is like so he got so much smoke with Trump that he just gonna
Hi, Victoria Guido.
he,
with
he,
Politico.
he just gonna mess it all up.
When it comes to the renovations of the Federal Reserve's headquarters that the administration has been looking into, do you see their interest in that issue as being directly tied to the president's push to get you to lower interest rates?
Not for me to say. I will say we had a nice visit with the president. It was an honor to host him. It's not something that happens very often at the Federal Reserve to have the president come over, let alone to visit a building. But it was a good visit.
Are there any aspects of the project that they've raised that you see as making you reconsider any aspects of the project?
So, you know, this project was hatched and conceived almost a decade ago now, and we went through the very long process of clearing it through historic preservation at the National Capital Planning Commission, and a lot of back and forth there. It was very constructive. We started out to do the work, and we're very well along on that work, and I was quite pleased to have the president say multiple times that what he really wanted to see was us getting this construction completed as soon as possible. That is our focus, and that's what we're going to do.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. Andrew Ackerman with the Washington Post. What message do you take from the fact that inflation hit 2.1% last September and has bounced higher since? Why do you think financial conditions are restrictive and a neutral rate's below 4% when inflation has stopped falling for almost a year?
So inflation, when you talk about these 12-month inflation measures, you're always battling residual seasonality. So we'll have, for example, 2 months of high inflation sometimes early in the year, and then inflation turns lower, and a lot of that may just be an artifact. So that's why we look at the 12-month numbers. I think inflation is most of the way back to
Chad, he gotta
2%.
go, bro.
There are things like the catch-up inflation. So, for example, all the insurance costs that are they're only now going through inflation, but they actually reflect inflationary pressures from 2-3 years ago. So that's got to go through. In addition, now we have 3 or 4 tenths of inflation in core inflation from tariffs. So, and we can't really separate that out. We're not going to have a separate kind of inflation that isn't the tariffs. We're always going to be dealing with all
Wise
of
man,
inflation.
you gotta
But
go, bro.
the composition, as I mentioned, has really changed.
Nicholas, he needs to step down,
And
bro.
if you go back to the last couple of years, it was all about services inflation, which
I
was
want
being
chain
very
ace. I
sticky.
still got
Now
my dog
services
shit.
inflation is coming down nicely. Goods inflation was well behaved before, and now goods inflation is going up. So the story
W's
has
in the
really
chat for Hall
changed.
of Fame.
That's partially because of tariffs. It's also partially because we had restrictive policy in place, and we've seen that the result of that gradually work its way through the services economy.
Okay, the other thing I wanted to ask
Bro, is this guy
are you
delusional,
comfortable
bro?
that BLS can continue performing their mission effectively if they take an 8% reduction in headcount and authorized spending as the administration has proposed?
I'm not going to comment on the administration's proposal. I do think, as I've said, I think that we.
But you don't wanna
we're
comment
getting
when
the
they-
data
when
that
they-
we
when they
need
put
to
that
do our
pressure on you.
jobs. I think it's really important that good data helps not just the Fed, it helps the government, but also
Your
helps the
data
private
is
sector,
messed
the
up, bro.
people in the
You
economy.
is the reason, bro.
They
You
use
so
this
out
data
of the
a lot,
loop,
too,
bro.
So it's quite important for our economy and certainly for the Fed's work and other government agencies' work that we continue to get better at data. That's what we've been doing for 100 years. We've been getting better and better and better. It's very hard to accurately capture in real time the output of a $20+ trillion economy. And the United States has been a leader in that for 100 years, and we really need to continue that, in my view.
Edward.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Edward Lawrence from Fox Business. How concerned are you with the data that we're coming in, showing no significant upward trend in inflation over the past 6 months, that the wait-and-see approach for inflation is actually giving companies cover to
Cook
raise
his
prices?
ass, dog. Cook him. Look at him. Look at
How
him.
concerned am I that say that again?
You heard what he said.
Is
The
giving
wait-and-see approach, what do you mean by that?
for cutting rates. You're waiting to see if the tariffs will affect
Bro,
inflation.
this dude is full of
So
it,
it's a
bro.
wait-and-see approach.
Well, so
sort of
that, that's where policy's restrictive. When we start cutting, it'll go toward neutral.
Okay, this delay, though, where you're saying there's a one-time price increase for tariffs, which possibly could lead into bigger inflation or more inflation. Is that giving companies cover, though, to raise prices?
Well, what may be giving, it's not our policy stance, what may be giving, some companies will certainly be taking advantage of the fact of the tariffs and all of the discussion of how they're going to, if the companies will raise prices when and as they can. And you saw it famously in the first administration of President Trump during those tariffs. Washing machines were tariffed, but dryers weren't. But what do you know? The price of dryers went up too, just like washing machines. So companies will often just they'll cross the street in a group.
Salute to the ZBCN.
That'll happen. We don't see a lot of that. I mean, what we see now is basically the very beginnings of whatever the effects turn out to be on goods inflation. And I'll say again, they may be less than people estimate or more than people estimate. They're not going to be zero. Consumers will pay some of this. Businesses will pay some of this. Retailers will pay some of this. But we're just going to have to see it through.
And just to follow, if I could, some additional tariffs have been in place since February, and things really haven't broken yet with the economy. So how do you justify to somebody who's looking for a house, who's facing a 7% mortgage and maybe can't afford those rates? How do you justify that?
Well, so the housing is a special case, right? We don't set mortgage rates at the Fed, right? We set an overnight rate, and the rates that go into mortgages are longer term rates, like Treasury rates. It might be 30-year rates, it might be shorter than that, but it's not the overnight Fed's rate. It's not that we don't have any effect. We do have an effect, but we're not the main effect. There are other things going on in the housing sector, and one of those is just there's kind of a long-term housing shortage that we have. We haven't built enough housing. This is not something the Fed can help with, then that'll be the case even after things normalize. So I think the best thing that we can do for housing is to have 2% inflation and maximum employment, and that's what we can contribute to housing. There are lots of other jobs to do for the private sector and Congress, but that's what we're trying to get to. I mean, we've made a lot of progress toward that. We have a very good labor market right now. Inflation, we were very close to 2%. We're seeing some goods inflation move us away, but so far not very far away.
Chris.
Hi, Chair Powell. Thank you. Well, can you give us a little more about what kind of economic data does the Fed need to see before you'll be ready to cut? I mean, do you need inflation back?
Let's hit them goals,
near
chat.
the
Let's hit them
target?
goals.
Are there other things in the pricing that you look for? Do you need to see weakening in the job market? What kind of things are you looking for?
I mean, ultimately, it could be any of
Facts,
those
black boy.
things, right? But
Block boy,
you
black
know,
boy, black boy.
if you saw that the risks to the two goals were moving into balance, if they were fully in balance, that would imply that you should move toward a more neutral stance of policy. This is the special situation we're in, which is we have two-sided risk to both of our goals. When we paused, inflation was above target and the labor market was pretty good. So that was a time when policy was restrictive when we paused. And to be restrictive is to be supporting a return
up,
to
Jack?
our inflation target, right? So as the two targets get back into balance, you would think you'd
Let's hit
move
them goals.
in
Salute to
a
Wise
way
Man for the 2 beam.
closer to neutral.
Let's get it.
And that the next steps that we take are likely to be in
That's
that
1 out of
direction.
5. We need 4
What will
more.
it take? It'll be the totality of the evidence. As I mentioned, there's quite a lot of data coming in, which before the next meeting. Will it be dispositive of that? It's really hard to say. We don't make those decisions right now, so we'll have to see.
Well, I guess just in terms of inflation, though, for example, like will some people would point to if it remains only in goods and it doesn't bleed over to services, then maybe that's evidence that the tariff effect is going to be a temporary one-time thing. Is that kind of thing affect your thinking, or do you just need to see the number come down
I think
closer to 2?
We'll look at everything. You know, it's
Bro, you've been looking at
as I
everything
mentioned,
for
you know,
2
a pretty
years,
reasonable
bro.
base case
You've been
is
saying this shit for 2
that
years,
this will be
bro.
a
I
one-time
pull
price
up to
increase,
every
and
FOMC
in the
meeting, bro,
end,
and you just
we'll
do the
make sure that
same
that's the
thing,
case.
bro.
We're just trying to do that efficiently.
Bro, do you care about the people,
Efficiently
bro?
means getting the timing right, so we don't, again, if we cut rates too soon, maybe we didn't finish the job with inflation.
This guy
History
got
is
to-
dotted
this
with
guy.
examples of that. If you cut too late, then maybe you're doing unnecessary damage to the labor market. So we're trying to,
Already
we're trying to get
doing
that
unnecessary
timing right,
damage.
and that's effectively what we're doing.
That's what Trump been telling you, bro. You doing unnecessary damage. I know Trump watching this like,
Claire Jones,
gotta
Financial
get him
Times.
up out of here, bro.
Just a question on the dollar. We've seen it decline quite heavily this year. I was wondering if there's been any discussion about that at the meetings and how, to what degree that may be complicating your attempts to get inflation back to target. Thank
So
you.
this goes back to the division of labor between the Fed and the Treasury, as you, I'm sure, know. And, you know, the Treasury only speaks to the dollar. It's not something that's been a topic of you know, major discussion at all at the Fed. I wouldn't say it doesn't come up. If the transcripts, when they come out in a few years, they'll probably reflect some mentions of the dollar, but it would never be a major focus.
Y'all think he's going to cut the rate
Just to
in
follow on, if I
September?
may, to
Or
Andrew's
is he going to do this?
question,
I got to look at the
I
data
think,
again.
The amount of imputed data in CPI now is up to 35%. I mean, is there any discussion of that as well? Is there any consideration of looking at alternative measures, data scraping and so on, in order to just ensure you've got a good read on what's happening to prices in the U.S. economy? Thank you.
You know, we're monitoring the situation.
Facts, wise
We
mind.
do, of
W's in the
course,
chat for wise
as
mind.
you know, during the pandemic, we
Trump will announce new
looked at a
Fed
whole
chairman.
lot of new kinds of data. People are looking at big data sets that you can get from all sorts of places, and we do all of that. But at the same, we really need the government data. Really is the gold standard in data, and we need it to be, you know, to be good and be able to rely on it. And we're not going to be able to substitute for that, but you know, if we'll have to make do with what we have. But I certainly hope
Everybody else is. We just seen Elon swap out all the IRS people for AI. And they doing, and it's doing just
Hi,
fine.
Mr. Chairman. Jay O'Brien, ABC News. President Trump has obviously invoked your name a lot. He has personally pressured you. Are you concerned the way that conduct
Get on him,
might
Jay O'Brien.
impact the Fed's independence going forward?
I'll just say that, so I think that having an independent central bank has been an institutional arrangement that has served the public well. And as long as it serves the public well, it should continue and be respected. If it didn't serve the public well, then it wouldn't be something that we should just automatically defend. But what it gives us, and other central banks, what it gives you is the ability to make these very challenging decisions that in ways that are focused on the data and the evolving outlook, the balance of risks, and all the things we talk about, and not political factors. And so governments all over the advanced economy world have chosen to put a little bit of distance between direct political control of those decisions.
So y'all
and
think
the
if he don't cut in
decision-maker.
September,
So
he gonna
if
get
you-
fired?
If you were not to have that, there would be a great temptation, of course, to
Bro got to remove his
use
ego, bro. This is
interest
personal
rates to
between
affect
him and
elections,
Trump.
for
It's clear
example.
as day, bro. Ain't no
And
reason
that's
for him to
something
keep
that
pausing, bro.
We don't want to do. So
like
I
that
think
is just
that's pretty
ridiculous.
widely understood. Certainly, it is in Congress. And
Look how he looking at him. Look how he looking at him. He know,
that.
like, bro, you're not making no sense, bro.
Maria Eloisa.
You holding everybody up, bro. You holding everybody up because you want to prove a point to Trump, bro. I just can't. What am I watching, bro? It's like I'm watching
You mentioned a slowdown in consumer
like this a
spending,
TV
and
show
I
or
wanted
something.
to see if you could walk us through what was the discussion with the committee around that. We've seen delinquency rates rising for upper income households. How do you see that evolving in the next few months, and how much of a vulnerability that is for the economy going forward?
Consumer spending had been very, very strong for the last couple of years, and had repeatedly forecasters.
So
not just
y'all
us,
rocking with
had
Jay Powell?
been
Y'all think Jay
forecasting it
Powell
would
doing the
slow
right
down.
thing? If y'all think Jay
And
Powell
now
doing the
maybe
right
it
thing,
finally has.
let me know in the
So
chat.
I would say
If y'all All the people
if you
that's on
talk
J
to
Powell's
credit card
side,
companies,
just
for
put
example,
ones in the
they will
chat.
tell
All the
you that
people that's on
consumer's in
Trump's
solid
side,
shape.
I think you need to cut
And
the
that
rate, put
spending is
twos
at
in
a
the
healthy
chat.
level. It's not growing rapidly, but it's at a healthy level, and delinquencies are
Watching
not
the WWE.
not a problem. You mentioned high-end delinquencies. I don't know what to make of that. I read the same thing, but so generally, and if you look at the banks, and when the banks talk about in their earnings calls, the performance of credit has been good. So essentially, you have a consumer that's in good shape and is spending, not at a rapid rate, but
seeing some
it's
twos
true.
in
And
the
there's,
chat.
again, right in line with what we expected. The GDP data that we
more
got
twos in the
this
chat.
week. And I think it's still a little bit difficult to interpret because you have these massive swings in net exports, which may also be affecting, some of that can be can affect consumer spending as well. Look, it's one of the data points that we pay most careful attention to.
This is 1982.
And there's no question that it's slowed.
Is that when Paul Volcker
And,
was
We're
there?
watching it closely, but we also watch the labor market and the performance of inflation. Those are our two variables that we're assigned to.
He said he was his favorite
maximize.
central banker is
And
Paul
just to
Volcker.
follow up on
That's
what
what
my
he said.
colleagues were asking about this dissent, Governor Waller said that
Or
the
Fed
labor
chairman or
market
whatever.
is on edge, and he was pointing to weaknesses on the private sector. I was wondering, you've said that the main number to look at is the unemployment number overall, but what was the discussion about the state of the private jobs market?
So,
Esco
I'm not gonna talk
215
about
says
any
he's
individuals,
on. He thinks Powell should
any
continue to
individual's
pause.
comments. I wouldn't do that. But
This guy's a bum.
look, I think what we know is
can't stand
that
him.
private sector job
Esco,
creation,
why do you think that Powell
certainly
is
the
doing
last
stuff the right way?
report We'll see on Friday.
Are you
but had come down a bit.
a Paul Volcker
And-
type
and
of guy?
if
Like, why do you
take
think
the,
you think Powell should continue to pause?
QCEW?
You think that's the right thing to do,
adjustment,
or
seriously,
you just saying that so you
maybe
can
even lower, maybe
so you
close
can
to
buy the
zero.
dip?
But the unemployment rate
Roy
is
said, "I
still-
can't stand him."
was still low. So what that's telling you is that demand for workers is slowing, but so is the supply. So that's it's in balance. Oddly enough, you've got a very low unemployment rate, and it's kind of been there for a year as job creation has moved down. But also we know that because of immigration policy, really, the flow into our labor forces is just a great deal slower, and those two things have slowed more or less in tandem. If you look at things like I mentioned, quits, look at wages. Wages are gradually cooling. Look at vacancies
Crypto Playground. Don't try to do
unemployment.
that.
Those things
I'm
have
not
been
even
pretty
saying
stable for-
that's not
they
what I'm
haven't
saying.
really
Don't
moved
try
a
to
lot in
change
a
the
full
narrative.
year.
I'm not saying
So
that the
broad- I think
Fed
if you
needs
take
to
the
be
totality
aligned
of the labor
with
market
Trump.
data, you've got a
Just
solid
because the
labor
Fed
market. But I
cuts
think you have
rates
to
doesn't
see
mean
that
that
there are
they're
downside
aligned
risks.
with Trump.
It's
They're
not-
doing what's
you don't
best for
see
the
weakening in the labor
economy,
market,
right?
but,
So I'm
I
not saying
think you've
change
got
everything
downside
up and be
risks
like,
in a
oh,
world
everything needs to
where
be aligned with the
unemployment's
president.
being
What
held
I'm
down
saying
because
is,
both demand and supply are declining. I think
are
that's-
you for
it's worth
Fed
paying close
cuts
attention to it,
or
and we
Fed
are.
pauses? We're not talking about if we need to. They don't need to be independent no more. We just
Hi, Chair
need
Powell.
Fed cuts
Nancy Marshall-Genzer
or
with
pauses.
Marketplace. One more question
That's what we
on
talking
the lack of unanimity.
This ain't got nothing
in
to do with
today's decision
aligning
to
with Trump.
dissents. Was there talk during the meeting? I know you're not going to talk about what individuals said,
Yeah,
but
Dig.
in
Thanks,
general,
Millie.
was there talk
Appreciate
during the
that,
meeting
Crypto
of cutting
Arena.
rates, and what was the case against that at the meeting?
Sure. So, we have
got some more
an
twos in the chat.
economic go around where people talk about the economy, and then the next, and that's yesterday, and then today we have a monetary policy hearing all the way around the table. Everyone gives their views. So, the discussion around policy was the majority view was still what it has been, which is that inflation's running above target, maximum employment is right at target. That means policy should be a little bit restrictive, somewhat restrictive, because we want inflation to move all the way back to its target. So that's where people have been and still are. Two of our members felt that the time had come to cut, and that they, for the reasons that they're going to express. I won't tell you the reasons. They'll issue some kind of a thing in the next day or so.
Because they already feel like it's time to cut.
That's the story, and I would say, well
That's actually
argued,
bullish,
very
chat.
thoughtfully argued all
There's
around
a
the
few
table,
people in
good
his circle
arguments,
that's already
and,
saying we need
it's
to
a
cut.
situation
That's
where
a hint of
unusual
dovishness.
situation.
If we got any
Economy's in
dovishness,
good shape, but
that's a hint.
It's an unusual situation where you have risks to both your employment mandate and your inflation mandate. That's the nature of a supply shock.
When it's too late.
It's probably
yeah, he's going to do that on
not
purpose because of his
surprising
spat with
that
Trump.
there
I
would
don't.
be
That's the part that I
differences
don't
and different
respect. I understand
perspectives on that,
he's
as
looking
well
at the
as
data,
different views of
but I
where
think
the
at this
neutral
point
rate
you
is,
can
so
tell
different views of how
the
tight
tension
policy is.
between
So
him and Trump.
we
Like,
have
just go look at when they were
those. I will say
standing
what
next to
you
each other. It
hope
was
is
just
that
mad
people,
tension how he was looking at Trump.
explain
Like,
their positions very thoughtfully and clearly, and we absolutely had that today, all the way around the table. I would call it one of the better meetings I can recall from that standpoint.
And you've said you're waiting to be confident inflation is heading toward your 2% target before you start cutting rates. When you do get that confidence, would you be in favor of lowering rates right away?
It's not quite the way I would put it. I said that's why we think policy should be restrictive, is because, inflation is above
we ain't
target.
never getting rate cuts as long as he
When
fed
we
chairman. I
have
can just
risks to
already see
both
that.
goals.
Bro gonna come next. Bro gonna come in September
one
and
of
make
them
an
is farther
excuse.
away from
And,
goal than
and
the
all
other,
the
and
people that
that's
saying, "Oh,
inflation.
we would
Max
power,"
employment's
y'all
not
gonna
goal.
be
So
like
you
saying
have
the
to- that
same
means
thing. Like,
policy should be
goddamn,
tight because tight
make an
policy
excuse.
is what brings inflation down. If you came to the view that the risks to the two were more in balance, that would imply that policy shouldn't be restrictive. It should be more neutral, a neutral stance, and that would be somewhat lower than where we are now. No one knows exactly where that is. So that's the framework I think I'd be taking, and
we should dump.
we'll just have to see.
I'm happy
We're
we
gonna
dump
be
it.
obviously looking
Dump
at
some
a lot
more.
of data
Fuck it. Dump
in the
it.
next
Dump it.
cycle.
Dump
It is
it.
one
Dump
of the
it. Dump it.
cycles
Dump
where
it.
we
Dump
have
it. Dump it.
two
I don't even fucking
employment
care.
and two
Just dump it.
inflation reports, and
Bring it
we'll
down.
see where that takes us.
Because at this point, it's like he's just going to continue to pause, which is cool. Like there's pros to him pausing, right? If he continues to pause and he gets that inflation down,
a metric that you like to cite a lot is the final.
Good afternoon. My colleagues and I remain squarely focused on achieving our dual mandate goals of maximum employment and stable prices for the benefit of the American.
I went to the other one, right?
That with some of the housing numbers, the weakness.
Nah, if he continues to pause, eventually the rates will come down to 2%, right? So what'll happen is people can get better deals on like mortgages. If you go to get a car, it won't be like too expensive when you think about the interest on it. Regular people can go to the bank again and get loans. Small business owners can go get loans. So it's like there's pros to them bringing down those interest rates, right? Getting them down, right? But at the end of the day, that's going to continue to remove money because he's restricting the policy, right? He's going to continue to cut the Fed's balance sheet, which is going to continue for things to feel like it's tight, right? It's tight, right? Everybody doesn't like that. Some people think it's uncomfortable, whatever. But I get it. I can understand. I always view these things with an open mind, and I look at it like, hell no, we don't need to get back to a point where inflation is like skyrocketed, everything is expensive, even harder to get these things. We need to bring that down a little bit. But it is people going to lose their jobs, right? He's going to continue to make this thing to the point to where people start losing their jobs, and it is. He's basically trying to break something, right? As soon as he breaks something, then they're going to go into like Fed cuts and maybe QE. But some people believe that at that point it'll be too late, right? It'll be too late. So it is what it is.
That you acknowledge that at the
this
top of
guy
your
is
remarks
still
that
looking
the
at the
housing
data.
market is in fact weak.
2 years later, he's still looking at the data.
If they're sort of equally at risk,
No
then
problem,
you really want to be
JLW.
at a neutral policy stance, which we're not right
ETFs
now.
could pump market.
So it'd be safe to say
this
that
is
if
why
the
people
data
say the
kind of
bull
stays
run
in line
is
with where it is right now, that you
2026.
wouldn't be comfortable.
Yeah, it
with
can be
cutting
an-
in September?
I'm not gonna say that. No, I just think we're gonna need to see the data, and it can go in many different directions. The inflation data and the
job data, right?
employment data, and we're going to make a judgment based on all of the data and based on that balance of risks analysis that I mentioned.
Thank you.
ETFs could pump the market. Yeah, this could lead to a delayed bull run, right? Where
Thanks, Chair Powell. Greg Robb from MarketWatch. The Treasury Secretary has said recently that it would be confusing for the markets if you stayed on as a governor
over?
after your term as chair ends. And I was wondering if you had any update for us on a decision on that front.
Sorry, I do not have any update for you. Thanks very much, everyone.
he left after that. After they asked him about his job security, he got up out of there. He got up out of there. Well, same day, different story. Same day, different story. I want to come live and kind of give you guys something, but again, you see it. The market don't like that. The market doesn't like that, because at the end of the day, what he is saying, basically what he's saying is that there isn't a guarantee that we get a Fed cut now in September. So you can see that the no change has risen to 51%, and now the CME Group prediction market is predicting a pause again in September. So what he did was he basically talked the market down, right? He knew the market was hot. He knew that if he gave any hint of dovishness, the stock market was going to pump. It's already sitting at all-time highs. Crypto was going to pump. They don't want crypto or stock market to pump because people are going to make money. And if people make money, they're going to feel rich again. And if people feel rich again, all these business owners, these gas station owners, all these company owners, they're going to raise their prices, right? They're going to raise the prices because people have money now. So if they raise the prices, people have money. Then we get to the point where people start complaining that everything is expensive, and now inflation is back, and now we're all at square one. This shit is a shit show. It's an absolute shit show, and I think that he pauses again in September, because what he just said is he's going to look at the data, and if he looks at the data, even if the data is the way that he needs it to be to cut, he's still not going to cut. He's going to wait to see if it's official. He's going to wait after he sees the data. He's going to wait to see that it's concrete evidence that inflation is at where he wants it to be, right? 2%. And he's going to wait, bro. He's just going to wait. That's how I look at it. I think he's going to wait. I think we won't get a Fed cut until October. And you can see here, there's now a 32% chance of no change. So we can possibly only get one Fed cut for the rest of the year. And if the market has to price that in, then some of these altcoins and even Bitcoin could be a little bit overextended, because the market has to price that in. The market was pricing in multiple Fed cuts. But Powell came up here and said he don't even know if they're going to do a Fed cut this year. Like, the data he's saying has not convinced him that they're ready to do Fed cuts at all. At all. He was extremely hawkish in this meeting. Extremely hawkish. He was extremely hawkish, bro. So at the end of the day, I think that we'll get another opportunity to reload our bags. The main thing here is to have consistent income. Make sure you're not overextended. Make sure you didn't put everything in crypto anticipating we were going to get a Fed cut, because we didn't. At this point, you should have known we was going to get paused. It was 97%. All right, so it's no reason right now to just have FOMO, but there is a reason to go over your portfolio. And now with the information we know, we got a game plan, right? We got a timeline and we got a game plan. And in my opinion, that timeline tells me that we got more time, right? Whatever we thought was going to happen, like some people have been saying inside the comments, could be extended into Q1, Q2, 2026. If we don't get any Fed cuts. If it is what it is and the market now is pricing in just one Fed cut in December, we could see a massive correction, because a lot of stuff did go up, and a lot of these crypto altcoins and just the stock market was pricing in multiple Fed cuts, Q3 and Q4. But Powell just talked down the entire market, and it's going to be interesting to see what Trump says. It's going to be interesting to see what Trump says. It's going to be really interesting to see what Trump says. What? Gilbert Arenas and 5 other defendants, including a suspected high-level member of Irresolute transnational organized scene group, were arrested today on federal indictment alleging they operated an illegal gambling business in which high-stakes poker games were played at an Encino mansion. Oh my goodness, bro. Every time I look, bro, this like it's something going on with gambling, bro, and they just coming after these NBA players, bro. That is crazy. That is crazy, bro. Not Gill, bro. They just got Marcus Morris, and now they got Gill, bro. Bro, this world is fucking crazy, bro. I don't know what's going on. This shit is getting scary, dog. They let you get all the success, and then they just come and knock you off your pedestal. I'm seeing it too many times, bro. I don't know, bro. The States is different out here, bro. It's different out here in the States, bro. It's throwing me off. 212 million liquidated from cryptocurrency market in the past 60 minutes. Oh my God. Oh man. Swaps over $30,000 swap back doing a couple times a day. Yeah, I've done this a couple times with Reptile. I've actually experimented with Reptile myself. ESPN has fired Shannon Sharp. What is going on in the sports world? What the fuck is going on? Yo, what type of day is this, bro? Do you think this will force more people to spend money on Bitcoin if they don't want to buy other things? A lot of people might just buy the next shiny thing besides. Yeah, I think most people understand that like Bitcoin is going to be the #1 hedge to inflation. But what I've noticed is that all the people that was pumping Bitcoin, like if you go watch some of the clips, because they clip farm, right? They clip farm these guys like Tommy Lee and the Novogratz guy, the Galaxy guy, right? All of these guys, right? They were 6 months ago, they were pumping Bitcoin BTC. All of them now are talking about Ethereum. So I think ETH is if the crypto market can overcome Powell's hawkishness, I think ETH is a good an opportunity. I think Solana is a good opportunity, and some of the top altcoins that have less volatility. But yeah, this is crazy, bro. This is crazy, bro. We got so much. President Trump said he heard Fed Chair Powell will cut interest rates in September. Nah, man, the way he was talking, I don't know about that. We've made no decisions about September. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's just another nothing burger. We'll just have to continue to look at the data. Chat, we just gonna continue to look at the data, bro. We doing what Powell doing from here on out. We just gonna continue to look at the data, and then we gonna go from there. But man, it's getting spooky out here, bro. It is getting spooky out here, bro. It's getting spooky. And somebody was in my comments today. They was like, Millie, we're going to be bullish all the way to 2028. Don't sell. I'm like, bro, they ain't even on the same page. And one thing what I've noticed is that the market don't like uncertainty. If the Fed and the office ain't on the same page, guess what that is? That's uncertainty. And if there's uncertainty, there's a good chance that the market bleeds out. And you know what I mean? Like, and I said that if Powell came out and he was going to be dovish, market was going to be pumped. Unfortunately, he was hawkish, and now the market is dumping. I wouldn't look too much into it. I think the market is strong enough to overcome Powell's hawkishness, and we can continue to maybe go higher. But it just depends on how crypto people feel. Some people are going to look at that like they're just tired of waiting. So a lot of people are getting impatient and tired of waiting. You know what I mean? I was talking to myself about that. Yeah, talking to myself about that this morning. I'm like, bro, I woke up and I was just like, man, I'm just like, when, bro? Like, how long we got to wait for Valhalla? We've been waiting for Valhalla for so long. It's like, is it ever going to come, right? Like, we've been just sitting here waiting for Valhalla, waiting for Valhalla. And it's kind of messed up for people that's not fully in crypto, because it's like you can't make moves. For me, I can get frustrated, but I already know I can run into another opportunity in crypto because I'm at my computer 16 hours a day. So if I'm at my computer 16 hours a day, I'm bound to run into something that's going to allow me to make some money, right? And where I don't have to think about my top altcoins, my portfolio, because there's always opportunity in crypto wherever you go. It's like a galaxy. There's always opportunity. But for the normies, the people that got 9 to 5s, like lots of kids, family, other stuff that's way more important than crypto, which is fair, bro. You don't have to make crypto your life. That is fair. It's kind of unfortunate because I'm seeing some of the same faces that even been following my channel for years, just like waiting for that opportunity. And like now that we had a window, right, where if they would have confirmed that the rest of the year we getting Fed cuts, we would have had altcoin season. Now we back to who knows what's going to happen, right? Now we need Trump to come out here and do something bullish, do something that's going to spark the morale of the market, because I think the FOMC meeting today may have messed up the morale just a little bit. People. They know, people are smart in crypto right now. They know, like, buy the dip, DCA. They know all that shit. Like, we've been saying that for years. They know all that shit. But it's just like, now people are coming to the point to where it's like, how many times, Millie, do I have to DCA? How many times do I have to buy the dip? When will I ever make money in crypto? I've been in crypto. I'm not making any money. When will it happen? It's been years, Millie. Years, Millie. I'm not at my computer 16 hours a day like you. I fucking understand. I get it. Like, anybody who's frustrated right now, I understand. Like, because even myself, I was hoping that Powell was going to give some type of hint. Like, okay, for the rest of the year, we've been pausing. We're going to ease up a little bit. Let things breathe. Doesn't look like that's what we're going to get. It's over. Just let it dump. The bull run will be dead. Yeah, those top coins is where they want the money. Message. Delete it for review. I don't know who put the message. Nothing to worry about. Ether still near 4,000. I agree. Fire fit. We will be fine. Strong support levels. I agree there. Priest. I mean, and people don't see that though. I agree 110%. I think we're still above bull market support. Most of them are the top coins, right? That matter. They still have ultimate RSI, Lux algo crosses on the stock RSI. There's a lot going on the daily that looked like we wanted to go into this FOMC and continue to rally. But for now, we might have to cool off. For now, we might have to go sideways. For now, altcoins may bleed, right? But we're still above those bull market bands in some cases for the coins that matter for altcoin season, like ETH, Solana, Bitcoin. And eventually, we would hope that the strength of these altcoins, the strength of Bitcoin, the strength of the stock market will, hold us at least through Q3 and into Q4, right? But I get it. I know a lot of people were a little bit, disappointed today. I was. He was a little bit more hawkish than what I thought he was going to be. I thought he was going to at least give some hints and dovish, like the time is coming. But nah, in fact, he doubled down that maybe we may not get any rate cuts at all this year. And maybe 2026 is where we'll start to do those cut rates. So it is what it is. What do you think about meme coins? I trade meme coins all the time. That's what I do when I'm not streaming. I'm trading meme coins. Exactly how the markets want us to feel. Yes, every time, right? Computer, that's not good, bro. 16 hours a day. Why not? Why is it not good? It's 24 hours a day in a day, right? I wake up. I'm at my computer. I'm doing things. I'm creating. Going over the market. I go to the gym, work out. I just came from the gym, by the way. After I do a couple videos in the morning, I come back, do a little Zen Master. I'm Zenning. Reach out to a few people, see what's going on, network. And then I'm back in the market trading meme coins for the rest of the day, probably into like 10, 12 o'clock at night. If I don't maybe do like 100, 200 push-ups in the midst of that, right? So why would being at the computer 12 to 16 hours a day not be good? It's good for me. It's really good. I wouldn't want to be doing nothing else. That's good for me. We need crypto top 100 ETF or something like that. That would be good. I touch grass. I was just out touching grass. I touch ass. Powell versus Trump, right? That's exactly what this is. Powell versus Trump. What you buy new meme coin like below 15? I'm not really about to shill any meme coins, bro, because I can tell by you asking these questions, you're asking because you're gonna buy what I say I'm buying. So no, I'm not telling you no meme coins, bro. You need to learn how to go do your own research and go find your own meme coins. It's very fucking easy. You don't need to require or rely on any YouTuber to help you find meme coins. Only thing you need to do is go to Deck Screener, go to Pump Fun, Watch the List, go to fucking GMGN, go to Axiom, and lock the fuck in. Buying what I'm buying is not going to help you because you didn't buy when I bought it. When I bought it at 40K. It might be at 500,000 right now. Why would I show that to you? Just for you to get burnt in the end. Nah, double down on your own research, y'all. Double down on your own research. Go find your own meme coins. I'm not a meme coin shiller. I'm not here to shill you anything. We're talking about J Powell. We're talking about the greater market and how it could affect our tokens, affect our coins, affect our meme coins. But you got to go out there and do your own trench work, bro. And this to anybody that's relying on YouTubers and crypto Twitter to find meme coins. Do not financial advice, but that's not the best strategy. You can use crypto Twitter and use YouTubers to find the narratives, the niche, the groups, but you got to go out there and find your own meme coin because what I may like, maybe you don't like. When I get into something, maybe it's too late for you to get into it. I can come up here and tell you 3 meme coins that I bought, but that's not going to help you. That's only going to help me. It's going to pump my bags because I've been in it. What if everybody decides to sell off once you get in? Guess what you're going to do? You're going to blame me. So no, you got to go out there and do your own research, good brother. If it's not broken, don't fix it. True. It's all love, Assery. Don't take it personal. Most YouTubers would just tell you to go, hey, I got a meme coin for you. Go buy this. Knowing damn well they got in really, really early and it's severely overbought and everybody's about to dump and now you about to be the bag holder, exit liquidity. Nah, that ain't cool. Let's see what we're looking on the hour. Oh, everything's red. Way to fucking go. Bitcoin is next to 120,000. Nothing to worry about. Let's see how leverage is looking in the market. Leverage is looking like he wants to pull us higher. Yeah, 120 is staring at us, man. We got a good little magnet of liquidity here at 120 on the weekly, the monthly, and the monthly does have a nice good short of liquidity down there at about 8K. But here on the 2 week, we got a nice good liquidity pool on 120. So yeah, looks like a lot of people are shorting the market, and it looks like a lot of those shorts will get wrecked. This actually is bullish right here. The fact that we got a hawkish Powell, and now everybody thinks they need to short the market, but the liquidity pool magnet sits here at 120, might be a good counter trade here, right? If you're into like, day trading and leverage and stuff like that, not financial advice, but you can go to CoinGlass and kind of like look into the leverage, and there's other tools you can use to look into leverage, but it looks like we got a good liquidity magnet here at 120, and there could be a squeeze to the upside as everybody is piling into shorts right now. I can see the shorts getting wrecked. Some people won't get it until they get dumped on. Yeah, 30% liquid always on hand is key. I love the dips because I know what's coming. Patience always conquers. Yeah, patience matters, man. I made a video on that the other day. The patience is big. Dex fans, Boinkers, and Core GAI. Well, we knew somebody was going to come and show their meme coins. Like, if you guys want to show your meme coins, that's on you in the chat. But yeah, Millie won't be responsible for that. I'm not here to show you any meme coins. And there's people in here that know I'm in meme coins. In fact, somebody actually posted one of the meme coins that I'm in one of the comments. They was trying to be funny. I think it was On-Chain Ace. On-Chain Ace, yeah. He knows some alpha. He knows some alpha. You say you don't trust memes? I don't think you should trust memes either. But you shouldn't let that lack of trust blind you from the opportunity that meme coins can award you, right? Yeah, we don't trust them. That's why we take profits. But we know that they can be awarding. We know that they can be awarding. But it's fair to not trust them. Why would you trust them, right? Most of the devs are not even docs, right? I get it. Oh, man. Another day, another dollar. Okay, so let's go here to the RSI heat map and see if our altcoins are overbought or oversold on the weekly, because this is what matters. And this is good. The fact that Powell came and talked the market down, you can see he's pushing our altcoins back into oversold territory. This is bullish. So let's refrain our minds. We got all the negativity out. We vented. We good now, right? We're going to refrain our minds. We're going to refrain our minds and look at the optimistic point of view here, which is, okay, Powell was hawkish. He talked the market down a little bit. And now a lot of our favorite coins, and these are the top 100, are headed below our average RSI, which is technically bullish for anybody working to find initial entries. All right, so we got to refrain our mind and understand when things are red, that's good. If you believe in long game, if you just want to make money the next day, then you probably pissed as fuck because you wanted shit to pump. I get it. But that's just not how crypto works. If you want to just bet by the day, go to the casino or go to Pump Fund where you can bet by the day. You can't expect altcoins to make you rich in 24 hours. Investing doesn't make you rich in 24 hours. It takes time. It takes patience, it takes resilience, it takes resolve. Saying, but I said people won't get it till they get dumped on. Y'all are crazy. I guess that's it, man. I guess we could take a look at Bitcoin before I get up out of here. Total 3. Got rejected, bro. Now we're under the 21-day EMA. Hopefully we don't go retest the 50-day EMA, because if we do, altcoins are going to bleed. We didn't get our buy signal here, and this is the daily. But let's go to the weekly, because I think that's what we need. That's what we need to look at. That's really what matters, right? The weekly. And Jay Powell walked us right into a stock RSI bearish cross. It hasn't confirmed bearish momentum, but Jay Powell walked us right into a stock RSI bearish cross, and walked us right into a potential double top. Has not been validated yet until it breaks these moving averages. But if it breaks these moving averages, it's over with for now, right? For now, right? This little rally is over with if we break these moving averages. It's over with, right? And now we gotta prepare ourselves for a correction, maybe sideways, and maybe get the altcoin season sometime in Q4, Q1, Q2, 2026. But Powell did walk us straight into a stock RSI cross here on the total 3. Let's look at the total cryptocurrency market here. And this is the weekly. So tomorrow we can start pumping again, right? Please remember this is the weekly. Here on the total cryptocurrency market cap, you can see Powell walked us directly into a stock RSI cross. Let's just hope Bitcoin didn't get the confirmation. Oh, Bitcoin is right there, right? So did he invalidate our head and shoulders pattern? Not yet, but we got some trouble here on the stock RSI on the weekly. Looks like Powell walked right when I said that, it printed a weekly sell signal. We're right. You see how it disappeared? We're literally right at the cusp of a weekly sell signal. Like he walked. It's like they be knowing this shit, bro. They know this, bro. They know that. I wouldn't be surprised if they all know. They all allegedly all they after the show they go dap it up like, yeah, pal, you put on a show, baby. Yeah, we about to bring the market down a little bit. You feel me? About to get some good prices. You know they go, hey, you know what I'm saying? They thought we was about to do 3 rate cuts. We goddamn chat. We goddamn good. Look at that sell signal getting printed. Look at that sell signal getting printed. It's like it's bouncing up and down because, of course, people are buying and selling Bitcoin at the time of this video. This is live, but we're looking at it. We're right there looking at a sell signal. It's crazy. Top coins for my final access rotated top coins a while ago. Based Pingu, Skitten. My only Degen play on the go and jump in Mask. Mask is a good one. He had a very, very big community. Had 2 years of fun with memes. Yeah, man. I think right now you need to be buying the best of the best. And if you want to play the rotation game, you want to play it once you get your profits on the best of the best. Though it's not time to be throwing shit at the wall, guessing. Oh, I'm gonna buy gaming coins because gaming coins ain't this shit in 3 years. It's over with, right? If we make a whole lot of money from our conviction plays and everybody can rotate into gaming without feeling, a loss, I can see gaming pumping. But without, I mean, until we end QT, is nothing. That we got nothing. We already know we got nothing, bro. Until QT ends, we have nothing. We're just gonna do slow cooks, rally here and there, narratives pop, bring the market up, but we ain't gonna have no altcoin season until they stop playing around up there. Until they stop playing around up there, it's a wrap. I don't know how we have an altcoin season in QT because every FOMC meeting, he gonna come and do the same thing. He gonna come and say we gonna look at the data and the data say the economy's strong. So if risk on assets, right, based on the definition, right, risk on assets mean, when people go risk on, right, that means that there's some type of easing going on. The elephant in the room is the global M2, right? Is the global M2 powerful enough to invalidate Powell's thesis and send us even higher? Is the narrative of the global M2, right? Is that narrative strong enough to outweigh quantitative tightening? That's what we got to ask ourselves. Global M2, QT. Which narrative is stronger? Which catalyst is going to pull us? Is the global M2 going to pull us up? Is QT going to continue to bleed us out? Because every time what's the point of getting momentum if every month there's an FOMC meeting, right? Except for a couple months, right? What's the point of us getting this momentum if we know leading up to the FOMC, our momentum is going to get crushed? Bruh, we can't keep thinking shit is going to change when it hasn't changed. It's the same stuff happening every month. So I'm convinced I don't see how altcoin season can happen in QT. And I made the videos. I said, in order for altcoins to pump, this needs to happen. It didn't happen. He was hawkish. He was not dovish. And he gave us no hints of a potential Fed cut anytime soon. He made that clear. We're looking at the data. We're not giving any hints for September, for November, or December. No hints. So, tread lightly. Your conviction is your conviction, but just be a little bit responsible and have an understanding where we're at. I can't deny that the altcoins they do have strength, right? They do have strength, right? And this is not me being bearish. This is me doing exactly what Powell is doing. I'm looking at the data. I'm looking at what they're giving me. And my thesis that I'm saying here is based on what they're giving me. Like if the market do something totally different and we just shoot up from here, I'm happy because I got skin in the game. You're happy because y'all got skin in the game. If we don't, I'm also prepared because I have stable coins prepared on the side for other opportunities if they approach me, right? So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I think it is, if it doesn't matter, the rate cuts. I think it is. And if it is, doesn't matter about the rate cuts, the top 20. You think the global M2 is a stronger catalyst than quantitative tightening? Bleed us. It means pack 100 bags. I'm happy now. If we blow up top, even better. Hey, it is what it is. I'm happy you went up that you doing the damn thing, man. Love to see it in the comments. Like you said, or he doesn't cut rates, then Wednesday have to expect people to buy the heck out of ETH for a non-organic bull run. I mean, we can have a bull run in QT, but can we have altcoin season? So I'm not talking about bull run, because we're already having a bull run. Like Bitcoin went from 15K to 120. That's a fucking bull run. I don't care how you slice it. I don't care who says, oh, bro, we was at 15K. I seen it. I was here. We did a bull run. No, we haven't had altcoin season. There were altcoins in narratives and bubbles, but we haven't had a true altcoin season. And as long as we in QT, I don't think we have an altcoin season. I think we still have rallies. I think AIs pop off, random fucking meme coins run to $1 billion. That's normal. But altcoin season where everything is going up 30, 50% each day, like 2017, 2020, how does that happen in QT? History has shown us that it's not happening in QT. Because any momentum or any rally that we get, they just straight put the hammer down and kill the rally, kill the momentum, kill it all. So unless something different happens, I'm convinced as long as we in QT, we won't have an altcoin season. That's one thing. And I've been saying in every video, ignore the fucking titles, ignore the fucking thumbnails, and listen to the video. What I've been saying, the Fed is the final boss. The Fed is the final boss. As long as we in QT, no altcoin season. QT, no altcoin season. That has not changed. I am not removing that thesis out of my head because from what I've seen, this is what it's shown me. Sucks. It is what it is. 100% we've been in a bull run for years. Yeah. I think without a rate cut or without him saying, hey, QT is ending or giving the hint that we have silent QE something, I don't know how we have an altcoin season. Variables change history for better or worse. Waiting for the green candles, boner. Yeah, man, that would be nice, right? We need some green candles. Hex is looking good, right? Salute to AOKG. He's a big Pulse chain, Pulse X, and Hex guy. Oh, ETH is still at 3,700, so we still got a shot. I mean, ETH is strong. Bitcoin is strong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that if Powell stays on what he's on, which is fine, right? If he wants to stay on that and he wants to bring prices down on certain things, I'm all for it because I know certain people inside the comments that they understand the long-term game. I think sometimes we get wrapped into instant gratification that we forget the people that made the most money in crypto believed in delayed gratification. So if we can have an altcoin season in QT and it proved me wrong and it proves history wrong, then this time is different. But until then, I don't know. We'll have to see tomorrow. If tomorrow the market picks back up, then the market is telling us the market don't care no more. The market doesn't care about Powell and the data. If the market picks back up tomorrow and the show goes on, that's bullish. That's fucking bullish. That's a good sign. If the market starts to price in that, we might only get one rate cut, maybe we get none all this year, that's going to frustrate a lot of people. That's going to bleed a lot of people. That's going to push a lot of people out, and a lot of people going to give up, and that's going to create opportunity for those that got accessible liquidity to buy the dip. You see, I'm looking at this thing from both ways, from both angles, from the mad people and the happy people, because yeah, a correction is not what we want to see. A dump is not what we want to see, but it does create opportunity, according to Warren Buffett and the Buffetts and the Bezos and the greatest investors of all time, right? SEC stalling on ETS is another problem. I didn't see that, but that's crazy. That is crazy. If that's what they're doing, MUD, if that's what they doing, that's crazy. That's a crazy name too, bro. So I'm just calling you MUD. It's bouncing right now. What's bouncing? We got Pump. We got ENA, SPX. Yeah, I mean the market came down to 116. I wanted a little bit more verification and confirmation from Powell because I wanted to put like a 22x long in on Ether. My mentality was like, if he gives me any hint that he's gonna be bullish, I'm gonna put in a 22x long on ETH. But it's too early. Guys, it's too early. The market, we already know what the market does. It bounces and then it dumps every 5 minutes. Give this shit 6 hours. Give it 8 hours. Do not give it 5 minutes. Stop looking at the 1 second chart. We're bouncing because 2 hours later, when everything is all red, after euphoria leaves, you know what I'm saying? Like, just give it a few hours. Give it a day. Don't make any decisions right now based off that meeting. It was a nothing burger. We haven't been through this. Let it play out. Not financial advice, but chill. Chill. Stop looking at the 15-second chart. Like, stop looking at the 1 second chart, man. Chill out. Let's see how the market looks tomorrow or a few days from now. Because that's when it really prices in and starts to react to really what's going on. The market is strong, though. You see this, right? It appears to be strong, but it's still too early. We're still too fresh from the FOMC meeting. We need the market to really digest what Powell said, because the experts, they're gonna go look at every line. They're gonna digest everything he says, and then the market starts to price in bullish or bearish, hawkish or dovish. So just give it some time. I believe the global M2 could take over QT as far as Bitcoin sees it, but not for altcoins. Okay, I agree 110% there. I agree 110% there. I agree with that because Bitcoin is viewed as a hedge to inflation. So I agree 110%, Wise Mind. W's in the chat for Wise Mind. We agree there. Everyone panic shorting. I think they're going to get wrecked. One up, I'm over bullish. Patience is my favorite trading tool. W's in the chat for one up. I agree. I think whether you're bearish or bullish right now, just chill. Just chill. This could be a trap on the hour. Either way. Either way. The key is to just stay level-headed, like One Up said, and have patience. This could be a liquidity trap. Either way. Bull trap to capture the last little bit liquidity before the market prices in hawkishness, or bear trap a few hours ago based on the market reacting to Powell yapping, and then all of that 212 million or billion that got liquidated could pump right back into the market. So never make decisions based off the FOMC meeting. Like, don't do that. That's the worst thing you can do. Like, let it play out, let it chill, have patience. I'm bullish with you long term. I'm bullish with you long term. I'm bullish with you long term. This dude's funny as hell, bro.
0 to 60 in 1 second. Fast. You niggas ain't want to race? You guys shit slow, bro. That's why, huh? You guys want to race? You want to race?
Bro,
who wants to race me? You guys want to race? Y'all shit slow as fuck. I got 1,600 on this, bro. 1,600 on. Y'all shit slow. Why don't you guys want to race me? You guys
What's wrong with
smoked?
dude?
Lose a couple $100?
Bro be having me dying out here on Twitter, bro. Like, oh man, I want his token to do well because he works very, very hard, man. He works very, very hard to get his content seen. President Trump says he heard Fed, bro. Stop saying this, Watcher Guru. Godly. It's this new app I want to try out. There's a couple things that I'm working on that I need to try out. I just got the MCP tool from Automayo. I think that's Subnet 36. I need to try that out. I love what Subnet 62 is doing. Guys, make sure y'all watch my Subnet video that I dropped today, man. Banger. Alpha. That's crazy, bro. What? Ain't nothing accurate about that picture. This is the point that I was making. Remember, majority of the FOMC moves are reversed on Thursday. Guys, do not try to trade today. Don't try to trade today. Don't pay attention to what's going on today. Today is a trap, and that trap could be either way. Either way. Remember that. The trap could be either way. This is funny. Any of y'all ever been to that restaurant where they be sprinkling and feeding you the steak? I know y'all some rich people, man. Y'all done been there. Don't lie now. So Trump did post this after the FOMC meeting. He says, "We are busy in the White House today working on trade deals. I have spoken to the leader of many countries, all of whom want to make the United States extremely happy. I will be meeting with South Korean trade delegation this afternoon. South Korea is right now at 25% tariff, but they haven't offered to buy down those tariffs. I will be interested in hearing what they offer is. We have just concluded a deal with Pakistan where Pakistan and the United States will work together on developing their massive oil reserves. We are in the process of choosing the oil." This picture just fucking threw me off. "We are in the process of choosing the oil company that will lead this partnership. Likewise, other countries are making offers for tariff reduction. All of this will help reduce our trade deficit in a major way. A full report will be released at the appropriate time. Thank you for your attention to this matter." All right, we got a little bit of bullishness coming in after the Fed meeting from big dog Trump, President Trump. Let's see. Retail panic. Most of us expected this result today. Yeah. The Camaro? That was a long time ago, bro, when I was talking about the Camaro. That was a long time ago. Bro, when I was talking about the Camaro. I think I was talking about the Camaro because I was having a little bit withdrawals because I missed my Mustang. But just recently I went to go test drive the Tesla Model Y, I think, like the SUV version, but it's customized, right? It's all red, blacked out everything, blacked out lights, blacked out tint, blacked out rims. It's really, really nice. I was in there showing the guy how I could trade meme coins on the screen. They almost sold me, right? But I'm like a hoarder. I'm sitting here like, should I get it? Should I not get it? You know what I mean? It's so when I go to purchase things like that, I think about everything else I could be purchasing, and I'm kind of like my worst enemy. So I don't know. But I don't know if I'm interested in a Camaro anymore. After driving the Tesla, I think I want a Tesla. I think I want an EV car. But I had to do research because my Uber driver friend who Uber drives in Tesla, he told me everything I need to know about Tesla, right? How much it's going to cost me in electricity, how much it's going to cost me for the at-home hub, for charging, the charging station. So like I was going into this not considering this, right? But something told me to just chill, to wait, and to reach out to him. And now it helped me out with making that decision because I got to consider everything else as far as managing the Tesla. Understanding market sentiment is key. There's always ways to make money. Only do spot. DCA has always been a friend of mine. Is that a no? I am broke Millie since Powell didn't cut the interest rates. Send me some VTC, buddy. I am broke now. Nice. On the same way, overthink purchases. No, I don't think I ever confirmed that I ever was getting the Camaro. I think I was asking you guys about the Camaro and saying like that's where my mind was because I went up there to buy the Camaro, right? And I drove the Camaro and I fell in love with the Camaro. But this was the time before like everything crashed, bro. This is even before 2024. Like I don't know where you been at. You ain't been watching the streams, bro. Like that was like a year or 2 years ago. That was a little minute ago, bro. But I ended up just like keeping all my crypto and keeping all my funds and just doing other things, right? I just thought at the time like if I was gonna purchase the car, I was gonna purchase it in full in cash because I'm not interested in paying any car notes. Like I don't want to ever get back into that. But I don't know. Some of my rich friends tell me I should lease things, right? Lease things, and then I can get in and out whatever I want, whenever I want to do it. I should lease it. So, you know, my elite friends, they put me on to what they do, where they lease things, right? So they have these nice looking cars, and then they turn them back in and get something nice, a whole nice new model. So I got a lot of options. I don't know what I'm going to do, but right now I'm focused on making sure I win with my investments before I do anything crazy. No, I like this. I like the Mustang. I sold the Mustang to full port my portfolio. This was in like 2022. So I sold my Mustang to buy as much crypto as I could because I felt like we were at the bottom, like which turned out to be a wonderful deal, right? What I sold my Mustang and I just like 10x didn't 20x my money from there. So like I sold my Mustang to buy crypto, to buy as much crypto as I can because I had 2 cars at the time. And I had just got out of a relationship and that car kept reminding me of my ex-girlfriend because we like did so much things in that car. I traveled in that car. Like, she just reminded me of my ex-girlfriend. So I decided to get rid of the car and just focus on crypto, which was cool. But that's why I got rid of the car. Not because I didn't like the car. I love my Mustang. I had Logan's exhaust on it. I had a couple of more custom pieces on it, from the exhaust to the intake. The intake was custom. Inside I had some custom things. So yeah, I missed that car. It was very, very loud in the morning. My neighbor has a Camaro, and every time they turn their car in the morning, it reminds me of my car, right? I used to wake up the neighbors with my Mustang. Like, as soon as I turn it on, that cat just it's just growling. It's just growling, right? It's just growling. So I miss it. It was a V8 4.6. And right before I sold it, I was going to get a tune. I was going to get a tune and get a few more things done to it within that tune to make it even faster. I was going to mess around with the computer. But yeah, I got rid of it. And just kept my SUV at the time. I had a BMW X5. And as soon as I got rid of my Mustang, the axle fell off my BMW X5. So I ended up having to get rid of that and getting a whole new car, right? Which that whole new car that I got is paid for now. And now I'm thinking about getting a whole nother car, right? But I want to keep that car. But I want to get an SUV, right? Because I already got a car, so now I want to get an SUV. Oh, that was a good choice, Millie. Yeah. I'm here for the run. W's in the chat for one up. God dang, bro. Shannon Sharp lost his job. We got no Fed cuts. Feds just picked up Gilbert Arenas. What the fuck is going on today, dog? But this is a weird day, bro. All the way around. All right, I'm about to get up out of here, chat. I appreciate everybody that showed up. I'm trying to start a show every Friday. With like multiple hosts, so it's gonna be something that rivals like a talk show, right? Multiple people on the panel. I'm going to be the host, right? But I'm about to bring in some crypto YouTubers, and I'm trying to get a full show with like 4 or 5 people on the panel. It's going to be lit. It's going to be honest. It's going to be fiery. It's going to have some debates. It's going And I'm trying to get it to every Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern, guys. Every Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. I haven't really thought about the name of the show yet. I think I'm going to go with like Altcoin All-Stars or the altcoin Hall of Famers. But yeah, I don't know if I want to just actually keep crypto in it or just make it like about crypto. I don't know. I think it's going to be about crypto, right? Because this is a crypto channel, so it's fair to be about crypto. But yeah, I already got some contestants that I have lined up. Hopefully I can lock them in. And I think it's going to bring even more vibes to the channel, right? I just want it to be good vibes, right? But also entertaining, right? We got to make crypto entertainment because, hey, this next couple months, maybe it's sideways, right? And maybe things slow down a little bit as the market tries to price in everything. So, yeah, new show on the way. Look at this, the market. Bro, the market is not fucking with Powell right now, bro. Oh my goodness, on the hour, bro. Like, y'all do not overtrade. Do not overtrade the FOMC news. Chill. Whether this turns red or green today, this is not the day to catch FOMO, and it's not today to have fear and just start selling everything. Let this shit play out. Let it play out. Chill. Go touch some grass. All right? Wise mind. Appreciate you. All right, chat. I'ma holla at you guys. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about the crypto. Go check out some of the videos that we got, man. Make sure that you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, keep your favorite crypto and door-to-door entrepreneur inside the algorithms. We are here, and we ain't going anywhere. We're going to be here until it's time to go, right? We got 132 people in here from all different platforms. So I appreciate everybody that showed up. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for helping with engagement. Thank you for the people that did send super chats. Again, make sure that you like, subscribe, hit that notification, and don't overtrade. Whether this is bearish or bullish, do not overtrade. Chill out. Let's see what happens from here. It's not a big deal. We went through this so many times. We know how this FOMC shit go. So just relax. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. And appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Thank you to everybody out there. Yeah, it don't care, right? It don't care. It looks like altcoins are strong too. Yeah. Looks like altcoins are strong too. All right, I'm gonna holla at y'all. It's your boy Crypto Millie. I'll see you in the next one.